Hi guys, welcome to the channel. My name is Niladri Mukherjee and I'm a regulated Canadian immigration consultant. I practice here in Guelph, Ontario as the founder director of Nuvonation Immigration Consulting. So today in this video, I thought to talk a little bit about the things that you should keep in mind if you are to apply for a tourist visa to Canada, right? First and foremost, we have to understand that there is actually no such visa called tourist visa to Canada, right? There is no such visa called visit visa or tourist visa, unlike in the US or in the EU. What we have is called temporary residence visa, and if you're to come to Canada for work, to study, or to simply visit, you have to apply for a temporary residence visa, right? So there is no such thing called tourist visa. This is a conceptual understanding that we have to have from the very beginning. Now, say you want to come here, spend few months with your friends and family, or maybe you want to see whatever places that you would like to see in Canada. So obviously the visa that you would apply for, you will call that as a tourist visa, right? So what are the points that you should keep in mind when to apply for such a visa? First and foremost, we have to prove in terms of our documentation is that our purpose to coming to Canada is very, very clear. What I mean by that is, for example, if you want to visit your friends and family, you have to mention that quite categorically and you have to provide proof that you have your friends and family in Canada whom you'll be spending time with. If you do not know anybody in Canada and you want to come to Canada just to see some places, right? You mention that categorically. Do not lie in that application, or be research oriented and make sure to prove that your purpose of coming to Canada is genuine. What I mean by that is 99% of the times, if people merely come to Canada for visit, they would mention, I want to come to Canada to see Niagara Falls. Now, this is probably not the only reason that you are taking a 14-15 hours flight and you are here for a month or two, right? Then the officer will think that you are probably not saying the truth. Now, there is no harm in visiting Niagara Falls. There is no harm in your inclination if you would like to visit Niagara Falls. But this is a little bit more problematic because you know what? You could go to the US and see the same Niagara Falls. Then why do you want to come to Canada? This is what I meant. So just be specific with your purpose, explain it properly, provide as much documentation in terms of if you have any hotel booking, things like that, right? Provide as much as documentation so that the officer is convinced with your purpose of visit. Secondly, you have to have enough money in your bank account or have to have enough credit cards and everything else, ideally liquid funds, funds in your bank account for the officer to be convinced that you have enough money to support your expenses on your own without being a burden on anybody. What I meant by that is, say you have only $2,000 in your bank account, hypothetically speaking, right? And you think that, I can buy a return flight ticket using that $2,000 and I have my best friend here in Canada, he or she is going to take care of all my expenses, and you write that same in the letter of explanation. This is not a valid letter of explanation, because you being an adult is expected to take care of yourself. You should have your own fund. And what if your friend doesn't care for you once you are here? What if you have a fight with your friends once you're here? The government does not want you to be a burden on the government. Hence, they will be very, very clear that you should have your own fund in like sitting somewhere in the liquid form in your own account so that you are able to use that money, right? This is important. Thirdly, do not think that the letter of support or the invitation letter from friends and family or relatives is important. It is not important. If you have somebody that is ready to share a letter of invitation to you, superb. If you do not have somebody, it's just all right as well, right? So if you're coming to Canada just as a tourist and you do not know anybody, obviously, for the first time, you do not have to think that, if you do not share a letter of invite from somebody, your visa would be rejected. It is not that. This is good to have. This is not a mandatory requirement as far as tourist visa or a temporary residence visa to Canada is concerned. Thirdly, this is the fourth point, and this is probably most important. You should be able to convince to the immigration officer that you would be back to your home country after the specified period of your stay is over, right? Meaning that if you get 6 months as the maximum stay within one entry, you should be able to convince at the time of your visa application that you will be back within that maximum period allowed to you. Right? This is very important because once people come from a developing country to a developed country, the officers think that why would they be back to their country, because obviously now they see better things here. This is the common psychology that goes into the officer's mind, right? So if you are working somewhere, for example, back home, you can provide a letter of, sort of a no objection letter from the employer saying that this employee will be back to work on so and so date. If you're a business owner, share proof in terms of sharing the documents that your business will not be run without you, or so and so, right? So basically you have to prove that you have a strong ties to your home country and that you will be back to your home country within the maximum allowable period to you. This is super important, and most of the rejections happen due to the improper ties to the home country. Even if you have ties, what if you are not able to explain it properly, right? So that is also very important. Lastly, this is fifth and the last point, do not lie and do not forget to mention any of your previous visa rejections in your proposed visa application to Canada. Even if you have a visa rejection maybe 10, 20 years back for any other country, you have to mention that. There is a box that it will ask you to tick if you have a rejection. You do not forget to tick that box if you have a previous rejection. Any such lie or any such mistake would potentially be considered into a misrepresentation and hence can lead to 5 years ban, which we obviously do not want, right? So these are the 5-6 things that I think you should think of before applying for a temporary residence visa to concern. If you need my professional assistance with your temporary or immigration to Canada, please feel free to drop me a line. I'll be more than happy to help you out. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.